The next call will be a 5-minute call, 1-minute bell. Honourable Dr. Peter Sharples.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Happy to take a call on this bill, even though it's a short one. In terms of our relationship, accord and confidence and supply agreement, but also because of the economic gains that Māori have made in our relationship with the government, we certainly support this bill. In particular, I'd like to talk about the Māori economy and its emergence into the wider New Zealand economy as a dynamic and growing force. If I could just go back a couple of years to 2009 when we formed our had our Māori Economic Summit, and Māori decided that there should be a task force to look at our economy and evaluate its progress, size, shape, and so on. So that was set up, and some of the things that happened under that was a review of the Māori economy, how to emerge from the recession, and we're just about in that process now, emerging. Looking at primary industries, Māori own a third of all forests and fishing. Look at local infrastructure building. Look at collaborating the SMEs amongst Māori, and looking at Māori branding for export. These are some of the actual things that we took up, in particular how Māori could make use of the free trade agreement with China and go forward from there. So these are the things we did, and one of the things that happened was for Bill, we commissioned them to do a review the state of the Māori economy. Instead of 16.4 billion, which was touted as the value of the Māori economy 2 years ago, it turned out to be 37.9 billion, so double of what it was before. And this put a new light on things and gave Māori an economic arm, if you like, in order to do coalition, get into coalitions, but also to do partnerships with other industry and so on. Interesting enough, 37.9 billion, everyone thought this was iwi money. In fact, 20 billion was small businesses, and that's either a small group or a single self-employed person or so on, made up a whole 20 billion. And that was a wake-up call showing there was plenty of entrepreneurship amongst Māori to increase their business and grow. And you'll remember 3 years ago, Māori women were third in the OECD countries for entrepreneurship in terms of starting up new businesses. So on top of that 37.9 billion bill forecast an extra 12 billion in GDP per annum, an increase, plus 150,000 jobs, new jobs by 2060. But there was a proviso, and the proviso was that only if the Māori asset holders invest successfully in science and innovation. And science and innovation has been realised by all industry in New Zealand now as being absolutely essential to value add to our products in order to, before exporting and selling. So at another conference, Bill also said, Ganesh Nana said, for Māori the key is export or die. So we've chosen not to die, and so we're exporting big time to China. We had 2 expeditions there, and taking a number of Māori businessmen and women across to China. The last one had 30 of us went across, and business was struck. And the thing is that we use what I call the Māori edge. Already. Māori techniques of first of all to Beijing, talking with the ministers and premiers, vice premiers, and getting it kanohi ki te kanohi trust, and then going out into the community and establishing business in manuka honey, wines, pasture techniques, education, exchange, food, gourmet dishes. China's got a new middle class, growing rapidly. They want our foods in New Zealand. We're a food basket for China, and we've got to make sure that we capitalise on it. Seafood, crayfish, fish power, timber. To value add our timber, instead of just selling logs, we should be processing them here and getting the value add plus the jobs that it creates as well to go over. And We've got the China Development Bank looking at possibilities of helping us do that. So that's only part of my talk, so that's enough for now. Damn, 5 minutes.
Technically, this is a 5-minute call to the opposition. In their absence, I'll accept a 10-minute call because I think you're next on the schedule after that. Paul Goldsmith.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.